Revenge films.
I'm Lori. I live with my husband Brian and my second grader son. Brian is the CEO of a famous company in the area, and we built a house recently. My son just transferred to a new school. He already made some friends and is doing well. I wanted to make some friends with mothers at my son's school, but it turned out to be difficult because of one person. Victoria found out that I was the company's CEO's wife, and she started asking me for lunch for my wallet. The first time was with a group of 8 mothers. She said to everyone, "You can order anything you like." It was lunchtime, but they ordered an unusual amount of food in an Italian restaurant. When we finished, Victoria handed me the check as if it were normal and said, "You can take care of it." I was stunned and said, "I didn't know any of this. Let's split the bills." "You're the wife of the CEO. I'm sure you can afford it. You can live in that mansion but don't want to spend money on us." She was unreasonable and mad at me. The others looked anxious and checked their wallets. They didn't bring much money because they were told I would treat them all. I didn't want to get them in trouble, and I paid for all that day. I didn't want it to happen again, and as we were apart, I told Victoria just this once. It's true, Brian is the CEO, but we both grew up in a middle-class family, and our financial sense is the same as other people's. The house we bought was our longtime dream house, and we lived like an average household. I never imagined paying for all the group's food alone. I told Brian about this that day, and he seemed shocked to hear that.
That's outrageous! You don't want to get involved with her!
I wish it was that easy, but it's not in reality when your children are friends and go to the same school. Victoria didn't stop bothering me. She contacted me from time to time to invite me. "We're having a luncheon, you should come." I would make excuses and decline, but I couldn't say no every time, and it has been bothering me. One day, Victoria sent me another text. "My birthday's coming up and we'll have a party. You have to come." I imagined she planned to make me treat everyone, and this time must be more of an extravaganza because it would be her birthday party. I talked to Brian.
I got an idea.
He said it and picked up his phone. He told his friend about what's been going on and asked him to help me if Victoria pressured me to pay for the party. As Brian told me to do so, I called Victoria the next day to tell her that I made a reservation for her party. When I was telling her about the reservation, "We can have fresh seafood at the sea," then she interrupted me and said, "You're kidding! Did you book that restaurant? Oh, I knew I could count on you. You're the wife of the CEO." She was excited. I was going to tell her that it's not a regular restaurant, but a boat restaurant on a ship, but she hung up the phone already. But as far as I knew, there was only one place where you could have fresh seafood on the sea. I didn't think she had misunderstood at this point. On her birthday, we rented out the boat restaurant and waited for Victoria to arrive, but she didn't show up after the party started. I called her, but there was no answer. Since time was limited, I had no choice but to start the course without her. I informed her guests about splitting bills in advance, so I enjoyed the meal without worries. 2 hours later, Victoria didn't show up after all, but we couldn't extend the time we rented, so we were about to leave. And she finally called me back. I answered the phone and asked where she was, and she said she was on the terrace of the high-end resort hotel. I asked her why she was there, and she said, "Because you booked here. Where are you? I can't leave here without paying the bill." I didn't understand. I booked a boat restaurant where we could eat seafood on the sea. Then there was silence. She realized her mistake. "You must be joking. You said the restaurant where you could eat seafood at the sea. Wasn't it the Terrace restaurant? I saw it on Instagram and wanted to come here, so I thought this must be it. Well, actually, I already ate, and I don't have the money to pay for it. She panicked. That's unfortunate, but it was your mistake. Just come here and pay for it, she yelled at me. At the same time, I heard someone in the background.
Excuse me, did you say you don't have any money? Are you trying to leave without paying?
No, it's not what it looks like. I can explain. But that didn't seem to go anywhere, and the restaurant staff said they were calling the police. It didn't concern me, so I hung up the phone. We finished up the party and left. When I got home, Victoria called me again. I was curious about the aftermath, so I answered the phone. Lori, please do me a favor and lend me some money. She said the restaurant told her to pay immediately or call the police. I told her that I can't because Brian told me not to. I heard the restaurant owner yell at her. I didn't want to get involved, so I hung up and turned the phone off. I didn't get any more calls from Victoria after that. My life was back to peaceful. 2 weeks later, I went to my son's school for a class open day and didn't see Victoria there. I asked her friend about her, and she said Victoria was divorced and was kicked out of the house after that incident. The restaurant ended up calling the police, and her husband paid the bill. The bill was over $3,000, and her husband was fed up with her. She went back to her hometown with her child and started a life as a single mother. But the rumors spread in the neighborhood, and she couldn't leave the house. After that, her husband got custody of their child, and he came back to his old school. Victoria's husband saw me at the school and came up to me to apologize for his ex-wife's behavior. I can forget about her and start a new relationship with him. Our children, who don't know any of this, get along well, which is a relief. Victoria sent me a message of apology, but I deleted it without reading it. I don't think I'll ever see her again now that she's away. I'll delete it if she contacts me again. We're having luncheons regularly now without Victoria. Everyone else felt the same about her, and now we're more relaxed and enjoyed the meeting. I would choose my friends from now on after learning the lesson. I don't want to get involved with a problem person. I have to be careful with someone who gets close to me for money.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.